400% capacity.
How about that?
Hi, I'm Nat. He's Matt. We've got your geek news right here. And today we're talking about, drumroll.
Today we are talking about Joss Whedon rising to a challenge. And what is that challenge, you may ask? The challenge was taking 4 franchises, 4 tent poles, and raising an even bigger tent pole with all 4 of them on top of it to make DC and Superman and all those lame Warner Brothers characters, Batman included, jealous as hell of the Avengers. And you know what? Mission accomplished. Holy shit, Joss Whedon. Wow.
Wow, so I was going to say, simply put, the Avengers is what we're talking about, but it definitely deserved that kind of an intro, because I agree, Joss Whedon did a fantastic job putting all those characters together that are all epic in their own rights based on the films that we've seen previously. And somehow, all together, they worked perfectly. Like, I thought it was a fantastic film.
I was completely blown away. I mean, Joss Whedon, before this, the only film he had really done that was seen, I mean, Cabin in the Woods hadn't been released, mind you. The only thing that had been seen was a $40 million Serenity that, guess what, didn't make any money. It got $40 million, so it totally broke even. So
this, on the other hand, broke world records when it comes to the box office. It's made the most money ever out of any film on opening weekend.
So
that's
Marvel,
pretty epic.
Yeah, so Marvel, Kevin Feige, everybody there, even friggin' the ghost of Walt Disney, good job. You guys had some faith in a man with crazy talent, and boy did it pay off. I'm so impressed. I mean, think about it. The challenge here was combining a science superhero with a mythology superhero with a hero based in World War II history, and combine that with a crazy rage monster that's never been able to keep an actor for more than one movie because we just don't care enough. And he made something that was just beautiful. Elegant, clever, funny. I could not believe. I actually now am looking forward to Hulk 3. Like, well done, I've got to say.
The newest Hulk? Yeah, I mean, also Mark Ruffalo signed on to what, like half a dozen films or something like that after this one?
So I guess 3 Avengers, 3 more Hulks? That's my guess? I don't know. I mean,
something like that. Okay, so obviously I'm gonna put it out there and say, you know what, one thing that I've heard that there's been some, I wouldn't say disagreement, but you know, whatever, there's the light and the black. Non-fans have said that this movie, at least the first, 45 minutes of it, seemed somewhat slow. What did you think?
You know, to me it was delicious character at all times, but you're right, there was a point there where nothing was happening except talking and positioning and getting everybody where they need to be for the film to happen. But yeah, I could see how the first 45 minutes of a 2.5-hour giant would be slow.
So long.
Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly. So, you know, for someone like myself, not unlike you, I was like, oh, I love these characters. Like, I can't wait to see the way Iron Man interacts with Thor, interacts with Captain America. Yeah. But it's because I was excited about those characters. I was already invested in the actors and their portrayal of these characters. Yeah. So I could deal with the first part, but agree that it was kind of slower than I was hoping. You know, like the last, quarter of the movie, that's where all the action was, and it paid off. It was so good.
To me, it paid off the moment we heard AC/DC over the SHIELD airwaves, and Iron Man was showing up to save Captain America's life. Like, that was awesome. The moment he showed up and just completely took Loki to school. I thought that was wonderful.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh, yeah. And you know what? Every character delivered. For me, I loved his one-liners. Iron Man is so clever. His one-liners are so funny. And his interactions with Captain America are so funny because they're total, like, polar opposite types of men, you know? Like, Captain America's like, what? What are you without your iron suit? And his response is simply, genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist? Yes!
It was so wonderful to hear Joss Whedon's dialogue delivered by, you know, a group of motley characters that aren't all supposed to be like high school students. It was awesome that they were just adults and superheroes and humans in their own right, and each brilliant actor completely delivered. From the line, "Are you ready for another bout? Why, you getting sleepy?" Like, these lines were just so
the banter was
sweet.
really
or
good.
when
Very
Captain
good.
America looks up at Hulk, and the only word he has for him, smash. Brilliant. Like, everything about the way this movie's put together, it was made by a fan. But before we get completely into the adaptation of this, let's talk a bit more about the film itself. There's a few negative things. One, this is a sequel to a film where Thor destroyed the Bifrost. He was torn apart because he wasn't going to be able to see his woman. He was so heartbroken, and then pop, oh yeah, Thor's dad just brought me down to Earth.
Yeah, apparently it wasn't that difficult for him.
It was like, really? No. It reminded me of that moment in one of the bad Star Trek The Next Generation spin-offs where someone looks over and Worf is magically in the film, even though he should be on Deep Space Nine at this point. And the only answer he has is, "It's all in the story." Like, really?
What? You know what? Everyone gets a little lazy sometimes. Like, come on.
Yeah, and it was one of the only points of laziness in the story. There was another point of laziness to me in the costume, and that's that Captain America's helmet looks like completely balls-out retarded. I'm so glad one of the Chitauri pulled his mask off, because he, once again, looked like Chris Evans instead of a guy in a bad Halloween costume.
You know what? I didn't even notice that, because Captain America was great in this film. You know, like, before the film I was all about Iron Man, Thor, love, can't wait to see them. And then in this film, his character just, I fell in love with it. He's just such a likable guy. He's noble, he's honorable, he's a first-class hero. So it doesn't matter what he was wearing. And on top of that, he's ridiculously good-looking. So again, it doesn't matter what he's wearing.
Well, there is that. But Captain America seemed so outclassed by all of the other heroes power-wise. I mean, the Hulk obviously outclassed him. Iron Man would have, like, in that scene with the airship, it made it look like Iron Man was the hero and he had a sidekick named Captain America.
No way.
You pull the lever, I'm gonna go save everyone's ass. And then the other thing that bothered me was the fact that it looked like Thor could have single-handedly accomplished this entire mission if he just had the balls to pound the crap out of Loki the way that Hulk did, because in that great fight, they went toe-to-toe. He's got the muscle. So I was kind of all the heroes that could have done this by themselves and wouldn't have needed the Avengers to assemble, Thor kind of could brought the lightning.
Yeah,
and
he could have, but he
didn't.
And really, let's bring it back to Captain America. Yeah. Captain America is clearly the only one with military experience, military strategic experience, and he led that group through that final battle like, oh my gosh, he was amazing. He was fantastic. So you know what?
It's true.
Thor, great guy, probably could have done it all very easily on his own. He didn't have this right here. If you can't see me, sorry, I'm pointing to my brain, Matt.
Oh, there you go.
I'm kidding. That's me. I love Thor.
Okay.
I love Thor.
No, it's true. They did manage to use the fact that Captain America is a military character to great effect in this case, and I enjoyed that a lot. But let's get to this as an adaptation, because I've got to say, Whedon managed to take something that was a great 60s storyline and was a great modern storyline in the Ultimates, and turn them both into one story here. We've got Loki, who was the reason the Avengers originally assembled back in the 60s, and we've got the Chitauri, which is the reason that the Ultimates are assembled by Nick Fury. He managed to put both of those stories together so elegantly, and I was just super duper impressed with the way that worked, because it could have gone badly. You know, the idea of taking the Tesseract, it's really a cosmic cube. That's what they normally call it in the comic books, but that's a really lame name. So the Tesseract. It has a bit more of a, well, it has more of like a quantum physics sort of
Yeah, you think it's better?
So it makes a bit more sense than calling it the cosmic cube. So that I did like. But to me, the adaptations in here that blew me away were all the geek porn we got, all the comic book love letters we got. Whether it was the Iron Man versus Thor fight that everybody's always wanted to see on film, the Cap shield versus, when Cap's shield managed to get hit by Meow Meow, by Mjolnir, with the oh my god, the way that just leveled the entire forest. The Hulk versus Thor fight, where as big and strong as the Hulk is, not even he could lift a hammer. All of those things to me were such great geek moments. But the biggest geek moment of all You remember which one it was at the very
At the end, the
When
first
Thanos-
post-credit scene?
Oh,
The
my
mid-credit scene?
God, yes. My God, when Thanos turns around with
That
that
was
smirk on his
amazing because
face,
I didn't know. I
just
personally
about
didn't know.
lost
Yeah,
my
I didn't know what to
shit.
expect, and then you see his face turn, and I was blown away. I was not expecting to see Thanos.
Yeah, they went super cosmic. They took the Avengers as cosmic as it goes. The Infinity Gauntlet. Holy shit, it doesn't get any more cosmic than that story. We need dozens and dozens of more Avengers. We need a giant, giant group of people for this to happen. So I'm hoping this isn't the story for Avengers 2. I'm hoping it's
Oh my
Avengers
gosh. Oh,
3.
and here's my
I
question.
think they need...
When does Adam Warlock get introduced? What? Huh?
Exactly. Adam Warlock. When do all these characters that play pivotal roles in the Infinity Gauntlet saga, the entire Infinity Saga, when do they get in? When do they appear? And I'm hoping that, you know, Cap 2, maybe Cap 3, Thor 2, Thor 3, the next couple of Hulks, and the next Iron Man have something to do with the cosmic, with the cosmic, just a little bit more. I'd love to see the Infinity Gems gathered. I'd love to see this mysterious machination happening in the background. That would make me so happy. Just to let it happen.
Absolutely. I definitely think there's going to be more Avengers in the future, as well as many, many more Marvel films, since Disney and Marvel are doing a fantastic job with it. Any final thoughts?
My final thought here is that Disney, Marvel, why do you do such a good job of this? When DC and Warner Brothers, a group that have been connected at the hip for decades, managed to cock it up so royally. They've been sitting on a Flash movie, sitting on a frigging Wonder Woman idea.
I don't know why.
Why
they have not made that movie
cosmic.
yet.
I don't know. They screwed up going cosmic so badly with Green Lantern, and they had a Joss Whedon script for Wonder Woman. Guess what, guys? Joss Whedon can do this. Marvel proved it. So I really feel like DC needs to get their shit together. They are an embarrassment at this point. They are about to put the final... They're about to put the final nail in the coffin of Batman this season, and what the hell are they going to do now? This is it. They have a Superman movie that's, you know, maybe okay, it may be wonderful, it may be terrible, because the last one that they let happen was a bomb. So I'm just sad that Earth's mightiest heroes are the Avengers, and not the brilliant characters that are even older.
Who would have thought?
That I'm just sad.
Oh my gosh.
But you know what? It's Hammer time. It's Hammer time. I loved Thor in this movie, and I just can't wait for the next one now. And one of the directors of Game of Thrones is going to be directing the next Thor.
Really?
So
That's awesome.
Yeah. And Chris Hemsworth is begging and pleading to get some kind of role in Game of Thrones.
Oh my gosh, that'd be fantastic. I just also
right
want, my final thought is, fantastic movie. Disney obviously confirmed today, actually, today being, what, May the 8th? That there is definitely an Avengers 2 in the works. Black Widow and Hawkeye. We did not mention their names once throughout this entire review. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
Who cares? Who cares? They're all right. I mean, word has it that they're going to go a little bit smaller with some other spin-offs, and that there's going to be some Black Widow Hawkeye movies, just like 2 of them, which should be cool. That there's going to be some S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff.
Oh, like, is it going to be one of those, you know, like an espionage action film?
Yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, these two characters were completely outclassed, outgunned in almost every way in this film. And, you know, there were the 2 points when Black Widow used her brain, and it was brilliant. But other than that, they kind of just ran around.
Yeah, they were likable. They were likable in the film, but they just did not. They were just outshadowed completely by everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, what are they gonna do? I mean, there's not. The Hulk doesn't run out of arrows. He just keeps smashing. Like, these characters just don't shut down the way that the way that mere humans shut down in that kind of a fight. So I'm really looking forward to seeing some more about them. I mean, the Nick Fury character, I think Sam Jackson signed on for like 150 movies, so he'll be in everything. No, I think it's like 15 or 20.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, definitely recommend the movie. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. Make sure you stay until the very, 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 very end of the credits.
Because I did, and this one didn't. So I don't want to ruin it for her, but I gotta say, I ate my shawarma today, and it was wonderful.
Mm-hmm. I like shawarma.
All right. So next up, we've got some great stuff happening. I know Dark Shadows is happening with Johnny Depp. We may or may not get to that one, but we've got stuff like Prometheus, we've got Dark Knight Rises, we've got all kinds of fun stuff happening. Absolutely. So don't worry, there's more fun stuff happening on yourgeeknews.com, and we're looking forward to seeing what you have to say about it.
Sounds good to me.
So Nat, thank you very much.
Okay.
And we'll see you soon.
You ready for another bout?
What, you getting sleepy?